So the musical life breaks down like this: 4 quadrants: composition, performance, recording, and business. Most bands focus on 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of these things, but by not focusing on all 4 of these things, you kind of relegate yourself to obscurity and being unsuccessful. And I think if you're a musician, you know lots of musicians, then if you know lots of musicians, you know lots of unsuccessful, bitter musicians who are unhappy with the way their musical career has gone. And that's because they've ignored one of these 4 aspects. How many bands do you know that write amazing songs but suck live, or write amazing songs and are great live but have shitty recordings, or have all that stuff down pat but just have no business sense, no direction, and they just circle and circle in their hometown until the band breaks up? This is how musicians have lived for, 150 years, ever since recording started happening and musicians were kind of taken over by corporations and the music industry. We haven't really had opportunities to take control of our own career, and most of that is because the corporations have litigated and legislated copyright law to work for them and not for us. And what originally was supposed to create value around music to protect our ability to make a living has kind of been hijacked and co-opted by very large corporations. And so what we're left with is the relationship between the fan and the musician. But now that same technology that democratized the copyright industry and let anyone distribute, let anyone record a song in their basement, let anyone market their stuff on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else for free. Those same things that are democratizing the industry are also shifting the value away from the song and toward the fan and artist relationship. So my purpose with Songhack is to get people looking at all 4 quadrants of the musical life. And you don't have to master or become an expert in business. You don't have to become a business person. Nor, if you're a great composer, do you necessarily have to go out and perform amazing shows or create amazing recordings. That you can write songs for other people. So there are lots and lots of ways to succeed, but each success story has a story that is intertwined with all 4 of those quadrants. So in this site, we're going to show you how to become a better composer, write better songs, how to become a better performer and play better shows, how to become a better recording artist and record better singles, albums, whatever you want to do. But looking at that all through the lens of business, thinking like an entrepreneur. Because when you think like an entrepreneur, it actually benefits your composition, performance, and recording. See, the problem with most music education is it's either about songwriting, performance, recording, or business. It's siloed into one of those 4 quadrants. But what we need is a holistic approach that measures all 4 aspects kind of equally. So if you look at composition from a business perspective, all of a sudden you realize, well, wow, my productivity is way down. I wait for inspiration to write. I don't actually sit there and force myself to write even when I don't want to. The thing you gotta realize is that doing this musician thing and making the musical life takes work. And so by looking at it through the business lens, you see what kind of work it's gonna take to get there. Compositional quality comes from quantity. You have to write and write and write until you kind of get your voice. So composition is all about working at it. And same thing with performing. Book more shows than you're comfortable playing. Book shows when you're not ready. You have to get out there and do things in order to succeed. Same with recording. Recording is still kind of expensive, so you need to think of it from a business perspective and think about how you're going to raise the money and then how you're going to monetize that recording in an age where the monetization is between the fan and the artist and not around the song. Now, that's not to say that you can't make money from licensing and distributing and selling your song. There's still plenty of revenue streams that are juicy around the song. It's just important to understand that we're moving away from that and toward the fan-artist relationship. And that's why artists can take control of their careers and live a musical life. And you might have heard of the idea of the 1,000 true fans, where if you had 1,000 true fans paying you, let's say, an average of $50 a year, you're making $50,000 a year. Less expenses, and expenses can be significant. But that's a good start at thinking about how you, on your own, can manage your own career success. You are the manager until you find a manager. So manage yourself, and also go out and try and find people to bridge that gap between, you managing your own band and, a professional manager finding so much value in your band that they're going to come along and run the show for you and run your business for you, or with you, really, more accurately. And even when you get a manager, you're going to need to know how to manage the band so you know how to get what you need out of it and you aren't exploited. So the idea behind this site is we're showing you all the ways that you can improve your skills in composition, performance, recording, but all through the business lens, so that you can actually get a sense of, hey, I can make money doing this, I can sustain this throughout my 20s, my 30s, long after the rock and roll musical lifestyle is gone. I will actually be able to continue to play music throughout my life for lots of people and grow my fan base and make better recordings, better shows, and better songs. It starts here.